Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone. This is Dr. Ephraim. Today's date is October 9th, 2022. I'm saying, Yeshua HaMashiach Baruch Atah Adonai. If you listen to the sound of my voice, you are blessed to see another day. And for that, all praise, honor, and glory is due to the Most High God of Israel, for now and forever. All right, well, this is a segment that I kind of started a while back, and I haven't really been utilizing it, but it's called Thinking Out Loud. It's basically when I just kind of share my thoughts and what I'm thinking, because the Most High has blessed me with the gift of thought, the gift of speaking. I don't have a problem communicating with others and communicating my thoughts, as well as a writing gift. I can write well, and so, I like to kind of share what I'm thinking, because I'm sure a lot of other people are thinking it as well, but they just don't know how to put it into words. So many times I've heard people say, I wish I could, I wish I knew how to write, or I wish I could speak well or whatever. So, with that, I look at it like, I kind of have an opportunity to be that voice for so many who would like to say the things that I'm saying, but they don't know how to form the words or to speak or, or relay it properly or whatever. So, but I'm doing this. I'm utilizing my Thinking Out Loud segment today because something literally just came across. I was surfing on one of my news feed sites or whatever, and I don't know if many of you kind of keep up with the entertainment aspect of everything, but Kanye West has really been in the news, as of late. He seems like every couple months or so he just kind of goes off on a weird tangent and just says a bunch of weird things, and and goes off on people and disrespects people. And then his soon-to-be ex-wife, said that he was diagnosed with being bipolar. Now, the brother is talented, musically, whatever the case may be. I'm not, I haven't been into his music in years. The last time I kind of listened to Kanye West was back when College Dropout, I think. When that song he had out, when it all falls down. That was my joint. That was the last time I was really into, Kanye West. And after that, it was a disconnect for me. He's a typical Gemini, man. He flip flops back and forth. One day he says this, the next he says that. And then the fact that they say that he's bipolar. And dude is a mess. He's a mess. But he said something that really got my attention. It got me thinking. Wait a minute. Is this dude really crazy, or is he crazy like a fox? They used to say back in the day, crazy like a fox, meaning that other people thinking he's crazy, but he knows exactly what he's saying and what he's doing. But it's like he's saying things to get attention, right? And he says some of the most outlandish things, man, and sometimes, and a lot of his metaphors are inappropriate, and people, and the thing about it is, people make excuses for him, talking about people don't understand him, this and that. Listen, sometimes things are just what it is on the surface. You have to accept it for what it is, right? But his mother was an educator, right? And so from what the brother has been saying, clearly he loved his mom, but he just kind of, it seemed like after her death he just kind of went left, it seems to me. I don't nobody care about all the billionaire and all this kind of stuff. That don't mean nothing, man, if your soul ain't right. With the Most High, you can have all the money in this world and go and die and go straight to hell. And that's real talk. So don't nobody care about his money and his influence, all this and that. But that's the entertainment industry, though. The entertainment industry, for the most part, is demonic. A lot of things go on in the entertainment industry and in the music industry. I get put that up in there too, that are just really, there's no other way to put it. It's demonic. The things that go on with the drugs and the sex and the, all these different types of things. Even when I was back in the day when I was a young man and I was in the music industry, and I mentioned that to y'all. Things I've heard, like I would always, like, we would go to a city or whatever. We had a big showcase or something like that, And I mean, there was always industry parties going on, right? We staying at the nicest hotels and riding around in limos and all this kind of stuff. But I never got into that. I was always my own thinker, right? Like all my homeboys, they going out to the parties. I mean, nothing but girls and drugs, cocaine, you name it. And me, I'm in the hotel room writing, or producing, or playing video games. I never wanted no parts of the music industry like that, and that probably explains why I never really blew up like you would think I would have, based on my talent, because my spirit never agreed with the music industry. It just never did. You understand? So anyway, not to get too far off into that, but Kanye said something, like I said, that really struck me. I'm gonna bring up his quote, and I'm not gonna quote it verbatim, because he just recently got kind of blocked, or his account suspended from Instagram for some so-called anti S comments or whatever. And same thing now with Twitter, because of what he posted on Twitter. I think it was just yesterday, right? But before I even get into it, let me bring this up real quick and tell y'all exactly what's going on. It says Twitter locks down Kanye West account after message about Jewish people. And it said Twitter has locked down Kanye West's account after he posted a message promising to, and I'm not going to repeat that. I'll put it up and y'all can read what he said. I'm not going to, because I don't want my channel flagged, or I don't want to repeat that. The rapper, who has legally changed his name to Ye, made the tweet as part of a series of posts Saturday night, which included tweets about protests in Iran and cancel culture following a crackdown on his Instagram account. And then this is what he says. Let me pause this right here. Stop this. And I believe this is the tweet that got him in trouble with Twitter. Like I said, I'm not going to repeat it verbatim because you guys can read that. But he said, quote, "I'm a bit sleepy tonight, but when I wake up, I'm going." Y'all can see what he said. But this is what stood out to me. He said, "The funny thing is, I actually can't be anti-Semitic because black people are actually Jew." Now listen, then he goes on to his other little rant about you guys toyed with me and tried to blackball you. I mean, he goes on these various rants. But I have to say this, though. Kanye West has said a lot of outrageous and outlandish things, right? But I've never heard him say that, ever. Yeah, and so clearly to someone like me, it stood out. He says, I can't be anti-S because black people are actually Jew. And I mean, it got me to thinking, because I don't know if you all realize this, but I've heard it over a course of the last, especially within the last 6-7 years. There are several artists that I guess have spoken on that in passing, though. None of them have actually got into it. J. Cole have gotten into it. He's made statements about, I'll tell y'all who y'all really are, something, but he didn't expound. Nas spoke on it. He touched on it, but he didn't really expand on it. It's like I hear bits and pieces of artists speaking on this. Of course, when what's that guy having all the kids, Nick Cannon, and when he spoke on it, they tried to cancel him, and he had to come out with an apology. And I mean, it was just like, listen, man, I get it, and these are men with a lot more money and power than me, and they basically, what they've shown us is that they can shut them up and shut them down. When you start talking anything that the higher ups don't want to hear, they can shut you down. Let's be honest, okay? This is supposed to be this freedom of speech. That's an illusion, man. I mean, come on. Listen. I went to war for this country. I don't feel I have freedom of speech. I don't think that's really a thing. Like, because if you say something that someone doesn't like or they don't agree with, they want to shut you up or shut you down or cancel you. Where's the freedom of speech in that? People say a lot of things I don't agree with. And if I don't like him or I don't agree with him, I just won't listen to him, right? Unless you're saying something that's criminally chargeable or something like that, or threatening someone's life along those lines, you should have the right to say whatever you want to say, no matter how stupid or ignorant it is. That's how I personally feel, right? And if I don't want to fool with you, I just won't fool with you. But when Kanye said that, I'm like, wow, how much does he actually know about that? Why would he make that statement? Where did he get that from? And how long has he been sitting on that? Because he said a lot of things, but I've never heard him say that. Y'all follow me? And so it really got me to thinking, man, like, is he really just playing the game? Or, like, clearly something is going on with the dude, man. I mean, all the Gemini stuff aside, he's like, he goes in and out. They say he's bipolar. That's believable. Because every couple months or so, he goes on these weird tangents where he's kind of just going off on his wife and going off on people and this and that, and saying just crazy things and stuff like that. And everyone keeps continuing to make excuses for him, like he's such a genius or whatever the case may be. Listen, his latest antic where he went to some fashion show, I believe it was in Paris. Hold on, let me bring that image up real quick. So this is his, most recent antic from that show he went through in Paris, at fashion show, wearing the White Lives Matter t-shirts. Him and that Candace Owens, who's made pretty much started making a living off of degrading and disrespecting black people. And so, Kanye, everyone knows he did a whole thing with the MAGA. He aligned himself with Trump. I mean, he went on to say, Black Lives Matter is a scam. He says a lot of things, man, and a lot of some of the things he says, honestly, if you look beneath it, there is some validity to some of the things he says, but it's disjointed, if y'all know what I mean. It's disjointed and it's inappropriate, and his discretion is horrible. He has horrible discretion, horrible timing, and he's extremely arrogant. When he made that song, said "You Can't Tell Me Nothing," that wasn't just a song for him. He really means that. He is so into himself. Only the Most High can humble him, right? But my thing is this, and this is what the tweet is what inspired me to do my thinking out loud segment today, because I was going to do a lesson, but I'll save that for next week. I got several lessons on deck. But my thing is, someone says, "Oh, y'all don't understand him. He's a deep thinker, this and that." Woo, woo, woo. Listen, man, I don't care how quote unquote deep of a thinker you think he is, how much you even like his music, and this is no disrespect to the brother, because clearly the brother, he has talent, but that's not the end all be all of everything. I mean, he just says he's very insensitive. He says a lot of outlandish and outrageous things. And let me tell you what's wrong with this White Lives Matter t-shirt, and why he's having such a backlash. Because number one, everyone know that all lives matter, right? We all know that we never had to say that all lives matter, because it's a given that all lives matter. The whole Black Lives, and this is not pro Black Lives Matter, but the reason why, I got to give context. The reason why Black Lives Matter was started because it was a disproportionate number of black brothers and sisters that were being killed at the hands of police officers. That's what sparked the Black Lives Matter movement, right? And so it was never a thing that the movement was trying to imply that all lives didn't matter, right? That was never the issue, and I get it from both sides. Black Lives Matter, yes, it does. I'm not with that movement, but as a concept, as a theory, and as an actuality of Black Lives Matter, yeah, you damn right, Black Lives Matter. But as a movement, no, I can't rock with it either. I'm not gonna go as far as saying it was a scam, but I can't rock with that as a movement, and for several reasons. I think I did a lesson on it a while back. I may have to redo it, update it, or whatever. But as a movement, nah, you have to know the history of the people behind these things or whatever, But as a concept and as a theory and a real thing, yeah, no doubt. But the reason why he's getting such a blowback for wearing the shirt is not because white lives don't matter. No, that's not why. It's because of his insensitivity of not knowing, or maybe he does know the movement behind that shirt. That shirt he's wearing is literally a movement of racist white supremacists, no doubt about it. Okay, so there is no earthly reason you can get me to ride for the fact of him wearing that shirt. No, there's no excuse you can give for him wearing that shirt. That shirt is so insensitive, man. Rather he, if it's supposed to be like a thing against Black Lives Matter, that's disjointed. That's way disjointed. Okay, you can voice your displeasure with Black Lives Matter without wearing a White Lives Matter T-shirt. I mean, come on, man. I mean, who do you think that would upset? Right? Think about it. This is the same man who, back when Hurricane Katrina, if you remember, said that George Bush doesn't care about black people. He's just somebody I haven't recognized for a long time. Like I said, the last time I was into his music, or into, back when he was, I think it was College Dropout, one of his first joints. It All Falls Down. I think All Falls Down is one of the dopest songs ever. He had that crazy chick, what's her name, Stacey Dash, in the videos. It was a tight video. That was my joint. I love that song. To this day, I rock it now sometimes, or whatever. And it's the stuff he was saying in it, was inspiring. It was uplifting. Where's that Kanye? You understand what happened to him, man? He even like prophesied on himself. He said in one of his songs back in the day about, he said something about some fictitious guy blowing up, and then he left his girl for a white girl. He did this. He did that. Like he was prophesying his own life, because he did that. He had a beautiful young sister he was with. Her name was Alexis. He put her name in a song. She named her daughter Alexis because she couldn't afford Alexis, or something to that effect. Well, anyway, that was his ex-girlfriend back in the day. Beautiful young lady, beautiful young sister. He basically left her, quit her, and he ain't been with his sister since. Real talk. I mean, it's come on, man. It's what it is, right? So, but anyway, his total lack of insensitivity, just not caring for wearing that shirt, man. How many people are hurt by that shirt? Because listen, you might not agree with Black Lives Matter. People have tried to, to skew the narrative of Black Lives Matter, because that's what they do. Propaganda, and try to turn people against it or whatever. But Black Lives Matter was never intended to harm anyone. Black Lives Matter is not a black supremacist organization. I don't care, despite what anyone might try to say, or whatever the case may be. They even trying to say that being unquote woke is a bad thing. They don't want race. They don't want race being taught in school. All these different things. But White Lives Matter, that is literally the people behind that is around a bunch of people who would at any given time, if they could, hurt people to look like me and you. So there's no excuse, man. Like, that is just so messed up. So messed up. Like, why would you do that? Right? Like, it's not even about being no free thinker and all this and that. Like, listen, you can have all that, man. At the end of the day, and especially with that statement he made, if you truly know and believe that, how do you justify these things you're doing, Kanye? I don't understand, homie. Please talk to me. How do you justify these things, man? If what you said is true in that statement, and because I really would like for someone to talk to him about. I would love to hear him talk about it. I would love to pick his brain to see what he knows about that statement he made about blacks and being the true Jews. I would really love to pick his brain on that, to hear what the knowledge he has on that. I really would, because they effectively shut Nick Cannon up. He came out with that, man, and they shut him down quick, had him apologizing, they this and that, they took his show from him, and all kinds of stuff, all because the brother told the truth, man. He spoke his truth. So listen, you and me, the ones listening to this video, we don't stand a chance. These are black people with way more money and so-called power and influence that we have, and the powers that be shut them smooth down. Smooth down. So, all this, freedom of speech. I remember back in the day, Ice-T came out with a album called Freedom of Speech. Just watch what you say, and he was on the cover with. Well, I ain't gonna cover, but Ice-T was he was real controversial, But that's my dog, though. In many ways, he was, what it is, born in New Jersey, raised in L.A. So anyway, yeah, man. I mean, that facade of kind of freedom, because we're not free, man. We're not free to think. We're not free to live. We're not free to earn a living the right way. Like black people, man. I'm telling you, and it's sad. We are still so economically enslaved. It's ridiculous, man. Only a small percentage of us are don't fall in that realm or whatever. We are still very much enslaved in so many ways, and more so now economically. The mental enslavement is one thing, but being economically enslaved means. I remember one time one of my little homeboys from San Diego, his name was Mitchie Slick. He said, being broke is like being in jail. Like, listen, man, it's simple as that sounds. That it was so profound to me, man. I will never forget that lyric, because it's so true. When you don't have money, man, it's like you're enslaved. Like, you can't do anything, man. You can't live right. You know what I'm saying? The Bible said, a man who don't work, that don't eat. Well, guess what? The unemployment rate is off the charts for us still. And the reason why the unemployment rate has gone up, not because people are finding jobs, but because people that look like me and you have fallen out of the job market. So that they can't even count against the statistics. They can't. So, more than anything, we are more economically enslaved. No, the chains aren't there. But when you can't move, that's enslavement. So you don't have to have chains on not being able to not be able to move. If y'all following me, and I ain't trying to get deep, because I don't want, like I said, I'm very careful about that with what I say, because I don't want no one flagging my videos or whatever, because that's not what I'm on. That's not the time I'm on. I'm not on that. But at the same time, I'm trying to get across what I need to get across to my peoples without feeling like, they're going to try to, shut me down or shut me up or whatever. You know what I mean? So it's like one of them things where it's like, you try to that fine line, right? But yeah, maybe that's another thing, another discussion as far as, the conditions that we're in. And I mean, when you factor in the curses and us not being, being out of the covenant, and I mean, all that plays into it. It really does. Because, it's sad, man. And I don't know what it is with Kanye. I don't know. The brother knew he really need to get some help or something, but because he ain't right, man. That boy ain't right. I'm telling you right now, something is up with him. I can look at his eyes and tell, like, he ain't well. Like, seriously, something is wrong with him. But anyway, man, whatever's going on with the brother, man, I hope the Most High get a hold of him, man, and get him right, man, get his mind right. He got kids, So, but I wanted to kind of just do this thinking out loud segment, because that inspired me, because I never heard him say nothing like that ever. He said a lot of things about a lot of different, things and people, but never that. So y'all tell me what y'all think. Y'all may not be into, his antics or what's going on with him, but just that's been in the news. I'll be in the news because I got to make it a point to keep, abreast of what's going on. And, he is one of us, so I know what's going on. He's dominating the news cycle right now with his antics. But y'all tell me in the comment section, what y'all think, man. What y'all think about what he said? Do y'all think he knows something? Do y'all think he's been holding on to this like so many other artists that it seems like they're afraid to say anything? Like, Nick Cant, he already got shut down and shut up. My videos only get, a couple hundred views now. I mean, I've been pretty much silenced for the most part. I mean, really, let's be real. You know what I'm saying? 19, almost 20,000 subscribers, and my video views are a joke. But I'm going to keep moving, though. I'm going to keep it pushing, and give the Most High all the praise and all the glory, and let it be what it is, man. I only control what I can control. Y'all feel me? So that being said, until the next lesson, until the next presentation, I think I'm probably going to do a little bit more of these thinking out loud segments, because these are just like my thoughts on different things or whatever. Not to, it won't affect the Real Talk Tuesdays or whatever, but just the thinking out loud, I can do that anytime or whatever. So anyway, y'all tell me what y'all think. And until next time, it's Dr. Ephraim signing off, saying hi by Yeshua HaMashiach, Baruch Atah Adonai. Shalom, elect.